Hello! Welcome back to Donghua family. Finally, the 3D animation masterpiece Sword Cometh Season 2 has officially made its comeback. This season not only marks the return of familiar characters, but also upgrades the overall graphic quality. From lighting effects and camera movements to the details on characters' faces, everything is smoother and more vivid than ever before. Are you as excited to see this show as I am? If so, please watch this video to the end and subscribe to the Donghua family channel to follow our next high-quality reviews and analyses. Regarding the plot, assuming all the details in the trailer are kept in the final show and not cut, let's see what events the producers have revealed to us in this PV. Learning from the first PV of Sword Cometh, we all know that events are often shown out of order, making it difficult for the audience to predict the actual sequence. So this time, let's rearrange the details from PV2 to predict the order in which they will happen. The predicted order is White Snake and Black Python, first encounter with Weibo. Assassinating Pinyin, troops surround Aoyang. The female ghost in a wedding dress, right and wrong are hard to judge. Shui Cheng teaches martial arts, Pinyin takes a beating. And now let's start with the dramatic opening scene, White Snake and Black Python, first encounter with Weibo. This event takes place just as the group of 7 Chen Pinyin, Li Baoping, Li Huai, Lin Shui, the father-daughter duo Zhu He and Zhu Lu, and Aoyang, is about to leave the territory of Lai Chao Dongtian. This can also be considered the first time Chen Pinyin faces an enemy in the form of a ferocious beast. The danger in this battle isn't just the immense difference in size and strength between the two sides. Besides having to protect Qi Jingquan's 3 young disciples, there's also a cunning local earth god who silently obstructs the group's actions. On top of that, there's Zhu He's daughter, Zhu Lu, who is the very definition of all brawn, no brains. Besides a pretty face, she's a disaster in every other aspect. Not only is she no help at all, but her actions are constantly sabotaging the team. It's guaranteed to make viewers more frustrated than watching a long-running drama. Through this event, we will see that Chen Pinyin is an extremely cautious person with excellent observation and situation assessment skills. He can adapt quickly. The core point is that he is wary of everyone around him. Only Li Baoping and Qi Jingquan's other 2 disciples are under his protection, so he lets his guard down only with them. Next event, Assassinating Pinyin, troops surround Aoyang. You all probably still remember that the Empress of the Dali dynasty, Song Jisun's mother, wanted to eliminate Chen Pinyin, right? After the 2 masters she sent were disposed of by Aoyang, she was both scared and furious. Scared because those 2 assassins were masters among masters, yet they were dealt with like salt thrown into the sea, without a single ripple. Furious because someone dared to act against the officials of the Dali dynasty on its own territory. Think about it, the Lai Chao Dongtian has been hanging in the sky over the Dali dynasty's territory for several hundred years. Not to mention the plundering of heavenly treasures and cultivation prodigies from the Dongtian over these centuries. Just the entrance fees alone constituted a colossal source of cultivation resources. With that amount of resources, forget nurturing talents. Even if you used it to raise pigs, the entire farm of pigs would have achieved Dao and become pig immortals. Therefore, Dali used the resources it gathered to build a structure modeled after the White Jade capital of the Azure Underworld, temporarily calling it the Little White Jade Capital. Its function is simple. Within Dali territory, the White Jade capital can eliminate any cultivator, no matter where they are, as long as their realm is not the Ascended Realm. And at that time, there wasn't a single person in the Ascended Realm in Aquarius continent, not even in Legends. That's why the Dali Empress, and the Dali court in general, were very confident they could use the Little White Jade capital to destroy someone who seemed to be a cultivator at the Immortal Realm. If successful, this would truly make any cultivator think twice before confronting the Dali dynasty. You could consider the Little White Jade capital as the nuclear bomb of the Sword Cometh world. That was the troops surround Aoyang event, but another event happens in parallel and is just as spectacular, the assassination of Pinyin. Although it's just a small scheme from the muscle-headed young lady, Zhu Lu, it's through this that you will learn the meaning of Chen Pinyin's version of cherishing women. It means, apart from his wife Ningyao, any other female in the world who misbehaves will get a punch. If that's not enough, she might get a knee and an elbow too. The third event, the female ghost in a wedding dress, right and wrong are hard to judge. At this point, Aoyang has to leave ahead of schedule, and the protector that the blacksmith Wangong had arranged to protect Chen Pinyin's group, the sword immortal Wei Jin, has not yet appeared. The group must continue their journey. Now, only Chen Ping'an, Lin Shui, Li Baoping, Li Huai, and a Yin god summoned by Aoyang to temporarily protect the children remain as they head south. Chen Ping'an leads the way, a basket on his back, a wood-chopping knife in his hand, and grass shoes on his feet. Li Baoping, with a small bamboo chest on her back, follows her little master-uncle, asking about this and that when she has free time. Occasionally, she, along with Li Huai and Lin Shui, would loudly recite the teachings from the sage's books. As for Li Huai, he also has a bamboo chest and leads the white donkey. When he isn't talking nonsense, he diligently reads like Li Baoping. At the back of the group is Lin Shui, also carrying a bamboo chest made by Chen Ping'an. Of course, he also recites the texts loudly like everyone else. As you can see, the group is simply heading south and reading on their way, not looking for any trouble. Moreover, their leader is Chen Ping'an, a young man who grew up making a living in the mountains, extremely knowledgeable about the rules and taboos of the wilderness, and on top of that, incredibly cautious. So, in theory, the group should be able to travel safely while reading until their new protector arrives. However, when the four of them reach the territory of the Xiaohua River, there is a female ghost in a wedding dress in the mountains. She harbors a deep hatred for scholars, and the entire mountain above the Xiaohua River can be considered her domain. For many years, any scholar who passed through this mountain was captured by her and used as fertilizer for the flowers in her garden. Many cultivators, including even a nascent soul expert, came here to rid the world of this evil, only to lose their lives. The reason for her hatred toward scholars, to put it simply, is a story of love turned to hate. She believes she was betrayed by a scholar, so her obsession and killing intent are directed at any scholar she sees. Therefore, upon seeing the last seeds of a literary lineage, a place where scholarly aura converges, namely, the three students of Qi Jingchun, the female ghost's murderous intent becomes uncontrollable. She not only has a high cultivation realm, but is also in her own domain. It's uncertain how Chen Ping'an will overcome this event, and more importantly, how this event will affect his state of mind. The fourth event, Sword Sister returns the favor, the mountain god receives the sword. A considerable time after the female ghost incident, Chen Ping'an's group has left the territory of the Dali dynasty. The sword immortal Wei Jin has also fulfilled Wangong's request, so this protector has departed. The current group includes Little Master Uncle Chen Ping'an, Red Padded Jacket Li Baoping, the bratty Li Huai, and the handsome, cold-faced Lin Shui. They are joined by three new members, the Season 2 antagonist Cui Dongshan, the exiled Prince Yulu, and finally, Cui Dongshan's servant girl, Xia Xia. Although this event is filled with spectacular magical battles courtesy of Cui Dongshan and details that help you better understand Qi Jingchuan's three students, the main point is scattered throughout the event, the way Cui Dongshan interacts with Chen Ping'an's group. The easiest way to describe this interaction is like a stepmother who excessively pampers and condones everything her stepchildren do. Cui Dongshan wants to use the small details of their journey to gradually magnify the dark side of human nature, aiming to unknowingly alter the three students' perceptions to fit his own agenda. Meanwhile, Little Master Uncle Chen Ping'an must find a way to preserve the true nature of Teacher Qi's last students, while also using the bait Cui Dongshan offers to gain practical cultivation benefits for them. He also has to carefully hide his own thoughts from a master manipulator like Cui Dongshan. This continues until the conflict can no longer be hidden, and the animosity between Chen Ping'an and Cui Dongshan reaches a boiling point. With their killing intent exposed, a life-and-death battle between the two becomes inevitable. This event will culminate in a scene where Chen Ping'an, for the first time, stands side by side with the Sword Sister to face an enemy. The one receiving the sword is the Mountain Lord of the tallest, largest, and most ancient mountain in the Grand Gnomish world. What will be the outcome of the fight between Chen Ping'an, a 13-year-old boy who can temporarily borrow the strength of a 10th realm martial artist, has never practiced the sword for a single day, and is wielding a sword in true combat for the first time, against his opponent, the Mountain Lord of Mount Hui in the Middle-earth Divine Continent, who is at least at the peak of the Ascended Realm? I, for one, am eagerly waiting to find out. The final event of Season 2, Cui Cheng teaches martial arts, Ping'an takes a beating. After overcoming countless obstacles to escort Li Baoping and the others to the Shanaya Academy in the capital of the Desui dynasty, Chen Ping'an left without a word and has now returned to fallen Trope Mountain. The mountain god Weibo, whom he met during the White Snake and Black Python event, has kept his promise and built a 2-story bamboo lodge for Chen Ping'an on the mountain. Initially, the lodge was nothing special, apart from being built with spiritually rich bamboo. However, Li Baoping's older brother, Li Shixing, comes to visit Chen Ping'an. Besides the deeper reason of wanting to compensate for a swap that you will learn about later, there is another clear reason, to thank Chen Ping'an for taking care of and escorting Li Baoping on her journey to Shanaya Academy. For someone like Chen Ping'an, giving him material gifts is almost impossible. Therefore, Li Shixing used a brush pen, likely of immortal-grade quality named Wind and Snow Little Hammer, to write numerous characters all over Chen Ping'an's bamboo lodge. These characters included the doctrines of the 3 schools of Buddhism, Confucianism, and Taoism, poems, verses, songs, and prose that he found beautiful, the philosophies of the 100 schools of thought, and principles about all aspects of life that he understood. This transformed the entire bamboo lodge into a Tao vessel of the Grand Hierophant of the White Jade Capital. This is the divine origin of the bamboo lodge on Chen Ping'an's Fallen Trope Mountain. Later, when Fallen Trope Mountain has become a powerful force, that bamboo lodge becomes its ancestral hall. Inside, incense is burned and 3 portraits are hung. In the center is the literary sage, the old scholar. On the right is the middle-aged scholar, Teacher Qi, and on the left is the portrait of Cui Cheng. This shows how significant Cui Cheng's position and role are to Chen Ping'an. Why did Cui Cheng come to Fallen Trope Mountain? Why did he teach Chen Ping'an martial arts? How powerful is Cui Cheng? That's a long story that needs its own episode dedicated to Chen Ping'an's Grandpa Cui. Within the scope of Season 2, we will only see how brutally Chen Ping'an is beaten by Grandpa Cui. Shattered bones are as common as drinking water, and being flayed alive is just an appetizer. The physical pain is merely decoration for the blows that strike the soul of the 13 and a half-year-old boy. Grandpa Cui, oh Grandpa Cui, what kind of monster have you created? He is resilient to beatings, has high pain tolerance, and carries 3 great killing moves. Godman beats the drum, Iron Cavalry breaches the formation, and Cloud Steam and Marshes unfurl. Furthermore, Chen Ping'an himself grew up in an environment where verbal sparring was a daily routine, and he lived next to the top verbal sparrer in Lai Chao Dongtian. So, after countless days of taking beatings for meals from Grandpa Cui, Chen Ping'an officially begins to wander the martial world alone, creating a legend of young Master Chen, whose words are profound and fists are painful. So, that is the complete list of events that Donghua family predicts will appear in Season 2 of the Sword Cometh animation. What are your predictions for this show? Please leave your personal opinion below, and don't forget to give Donghua family a like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss our next exciting videos. For now, goodbye and see you all when the show airs.